everyone to our channel. Now I'm going to talk about VANGA 2020. What does it tell us about the future? What does it tell us about the future? VANGA 2020. Have you heard of the city VANGA? She became very popular in the 1960s after the Bulgarian government established the Institute for Succession and Parapsychology. As it believed that clairvoyance was extremely important within the scientific field. But did VANGA prophecies have any foundation? What are the VANGA 2020 predictions? VANGA was the famous blind prophet also known as the Nostradamus of the Balkans. She passed away more than 2 decades ago and left prediction for the past year as the 9/11 attacks. Vangelia Pandeva Dimitrova, or simply VANGA, was born in the year of 1911. In Bulgaria and at age 30 would have been visited by the spirits of a knight in armor. The world is on the brink of disaster. Millions of people will die and to go for it. Do not be afraid. I'll tell you what to say. The world was at that time experiencing World War II. VANGA 2020 predictions. VANGA also predicted some major events for the year 2020. If her predictions are correct, Pakistan, China, Japan, and Alaska could be victims of a big wave. 400 people will also die in a magnitude 7.5 earthquake that will reverse Asia this year. Just like the tsunami she predicted in 2004. Ocean meteor will fall in Russia in 2020. Brexit was also among the predictions of VANGA. As soon as the exit of Britain from the European Union is confirmed, Europe will face a major economic crisis according to VANGA 2020. The Brexit process is already underway, but it remains to be seen whether the economic crisis will last. VANGA prediction in 2020 also called for an assassination attempt on Putin. The alleged murder would be a member of his security service. Being a former chief of intelligence, the president claimed to be the victim of at least 4 attempted murders, but no one managed to read it. A team of sniper ensure his protection daily. What does VANGA tell us about the future? VANGA predictions are almost unquotable. The medium talk about many prophets, and many of them we hope will never come true. The future seen by VANGA is not at all pleasant and speaks of the end of the world. Among her prophecies for the future, some should receive more attention. Thus, we can highlight the power that VANGA gave to China, indicating that country needs the next world power. An idea that is very close to reality, don't you think? What will a lesson happen after 2020? And by 2023, we would undergo a drastic change on the planet, because the story will change. It will influence the climate, the goddess, and much of nature, causing a huge difficulty for humanity to adapt. As a result of this calamity, a change in society policy ideology would flourish in the major nation, and by the year 2076, the entire globe would be living under communism. Shortly after this reorganization of politics and economies, by 2100, human technology would be able to create an artificial sun that would serve both as a source of fantasy and to warm the cold planets in the orbit change. Still, as a result of human technological advancement, VANGA says by 2111, all men would have become robots after finding a way to transport consciousness into a body that would no longer have to suffer from aging to die from disease. And this the planet nearly destroyed and without resources. This robotic humanity already inhabiting Mars would face an interplanetary world between Earth and Mars, which in 2183 would require independence from Earth. Reaching immortality, a few centuries after this conflict, in 2271, the laws of physics will be totally attacked. This will make room for the discovery of time travel a few decades later. The race for time travel brings many conflicts between the inhabited human planets. And by 3005, Mars would be through an overwhelming war. The only good news among VANGA prediction is only for the year 4308. The source says that everything will be gone from the face on the planet. Men will have finally reached the stage of fabulation that promotes relationship through peace, love, and ethics. Then in 4599 we will attain immortality and transcend death. But we have bad news again. We will reach the edge of the universe in 5076. The world will end 3 years later. What Baba VANGA prediction exactly? Most of Baba VANGA prediction for 2019 involves politics and natural disaster. Natural disaster. Baba VANGA already has said that a big wave will cover the shore and people will disappear underwater, referring to the biggest natural disaster in the world until now. 2004 tsunami in Asia. For the current years, the amount that Asia would suffer again with earthquakes and new tsunamis. Besides predicting that the meteorites would fall in Russia, Europe's economy going down. The prophets had talked about Brexit, but after the definitive exit of the United Kingdom, the old continent will pass through the worst economic crisis of history. Putin attempt murder. According to Baba VANGA, the Russian president will have his life threatened in an attack. She even says that the element trying to kill him will be from his own security team. She said not say if he will survive or not though. Trump mysterious desert. In one of the predictions, Baba VANGA talked about some strange symptoms that Donald Trump might suffer: nausea, tinnitus, and even hearing loss. All these set up the same mysterious disease that affected the American diplomats in Cuba. The prophet Nostradamus' prediction of world's destiny in 2020. The terrifying prophetic prophecies of the prophet Nostradamus have been the subject of controversy for centuries, and in the context of the world approaching a New Year's 2020, these prophecies once again appear. According to Express, Nostradamus is one of the most famous prophets in the world. Nostradamus is the author of the book Prophets, Less Prophetic, a collection of predictions published in 1555. This prophetic prophecy describes events expected to occur in the world from the middle of the 16th century to the end of the world. Nostradamus' many predictions are believed to have come true after his death, including the death of the famous King Henry II of France of the Great Fire in London, England, in 1666 and the rise of Hitler. According to Peter Lorre, author of Nostradamus 2003 to 2025, A History of the Future, 2020 will be a year of turmoil, especially with a major financial revolution. A major economic crisis may occur, causing business to go bankrupt. An economic recession in some countries will be caused the global economy to enter dark time. According to the prophecies of Nostradamus, there will be a strong earthquake in 2020 in the American continent. Nostradamus predicts a sudden rise in sea levels and global warming that will impact the lives of these people. Humanity could face many risks and dangerous storms causing great scarcity in life and property in 2020. Psychic Hamilton Baker told British Express newspaper the prophet Nostradamus predicts Mr. Trump was assassinated during his second term as president. Nostradamus predicts that a major conflict will occur in 2020 that will cause great unfavor, especially in the Middle East. Christie's Nostradamus. Prophecies are being too vague and needs deduction to the wrong conclusion. This is the basis for some inference at their disposal, just by translating it wrong, explaining in a different way and many other reasons. It's quite possible to understand Nostradamus' prophecies in a different way, the English newspaper said. Some argue that the fear of being prosecuted for heresy forced Nostradamus to write vague prophecies, but there is no historical evidence to support this user. I hope hope you like this and just like and subscribe my channel. Thank you for watching and see you later in the next video.